I'm Madison Crum, and I work here at Board Paradise. Board Paradise has been in the Boone area since the late 90s, 1998. We used to have a spot in downtown, but we've had a lot of locations jumping around, but now we're back here in Blowing Rock. I got my first skateboard when I was 6, but thought skating was kind of lame till I got to college when I wasn't around the ocean. I grew up on the ocean and started surfing when I was like 10 years old. We would go snowboarding every winter. So I was always just around board sports, but never really obsessed with them until I moved up to the mountains and discovered how great this area was for downhill. I worked at a rafting company, and one of my friends, Logan, since it was seasonal, when it ran out, he became the manager here somehow. I think he met Josh in the lifts at App Ski or something like that. When Logan decided that he wanted to travel the country going on kayaking tours, he called me up and was probably just looking for the first person he knew that could take over the shop. And luckily I was super stoked to take over the position. The owner was actually one of the first guys to put rails in App Ski Mountain. They were the first guys to build boxes in the parking lot and bring them in. And he was actually part of the group that convinced them to put the whole terrain, big jump side, convinced them to cut it out and then charge the $5 a year to pay for the new slope. Board Paradise is always a super helpful sponsor to all the events and trips we go on. Josh is always willing to contribute and help out the community. This last year, Board Paradise helped us sponsor Shine Run, and Shine Run is a trip put on by a clothing company called Local Apparel. It's been going on for about 6 years. It's basically just a van trip. We get 10 to 15 people depending on the year. It started out with just 6 guys, and then this last trip had 12. The year before we had probably 25 people, maybe 30, I don't know. We get a van, we travel around, we do camping, we skate new roads. We try to throw in some exploration around there, but it's just a good summer opener when we're all really tired of the winter and just need to get out and go skate something new and camp in the cold with your friends. Board Paradise has also sponsored Mount Jefferson for the last 2 years, and then this year they're down as a sponsor. Mount Jefferson is our main race that we do every year. It's usually in the April. We have a state park road that they let us shut down for a whole weekend, and this year it'll actually be on the World Tour calendar, so we're super excited about that. Board Paradise is also willing to throw down some random boxes of product for any outlaws we might be having or something like that. He's just always down to help us with whatever we need. Board Paradise is one of the few shops that really support the downhill community and actually get all of the products that we need in here and want in here. Most shops are a little more hesitant. There's definitely a rift between the street skaters and the downhill. Some of the other shops think that all of our equipment is too niche-y and overly specific to really stock everything that we need. They kind of don't understand exactly what we need. But Board Paradise has been super receptive, especially since all the local Boone guys have started working here. We've kind of put in brands that we think are important and all the gear that we think that we actually buy. Downhill skateboarding is definitely a very small sport, and so because of that, there's not as much money in the industry, so a lot of other shops just don't want to invest in that kind of risk.